And it's a very good morning from me, Cass Bishop. I'm delighted to be joining Mark Hunter in the commentary box. My heart is pounding after that historic win for Marlow. My goodness, I know that means a lot, but we have another fantastic final kicking off. It's the Town Challenge Cup for open women's fours, and we have Leander on the Berkshire station on your left-hand side of the picture against Rowing Canada on the right. And it is a fearsome battle here of athletes with international aspirations.
Yeah, and it's really, I'm excited to see this Leander crew race, because they're listening to the coaches. This is the exciting crew. They're not really sure what they're capable of, because they've been put together. They're just such a lively group. They just keep enjoying the racing, and they're just feeding off each race. So it'd be really interesting how they can really put this Canadian crew under pressure early on.
So when you have a crew that's coming together at the last minute, then often they go through a journey through the regatta, don't they? Because they're learning so much about each other each day. They really evolve the race plan, the warm-up, everything. And then they can they go that final step? And of course, you have some inside information, don't you, from Ross Hunter, your brother who's coaching them.
Exactly. He said that, talking to Ross and kind of Rob Morgan, they've just been excited to see this crew, see what they can do. They just keep moving up every round, and just defeating all the obstacles that come in front of them. And it's really exciting to see them go off and lead this. They knew they had to go off early to put the Canadians under pressure, because the Canadians is an established crew. It's not just a group of individuals that just turned up. So it'd be interesting to see how they can kind of weather the storm.
So we've got incredible talent in this Rowing Canada crew, and a huge hello to everyone who's got up incredibly early to watch us. We hope you're enjoying Henley Regatta, and we're glad to have really good support from viewers over in Canada. And an impressive crew who've looked really good all week, but they are being put under huge pressure here.
That is an incredible first section from the Leander crew to kind of take it by the scruff of the neck, go out and see what they can do. As you mentioned, they just keep progressing each round. Can they put the Canadians under pressure early and really start to use that home field advantage? The Leander crew will know this river better than anyone at this regatta.
So in the Canadian crew, we have Piper Battersby at bow, Leah Till at 2, Cher De Paver at 3, and Morgan Rosts. And they have a lot of experience. Morgan Rosts was the winner at Henley in the Pre-eminent Challenge Cup last year, so she knows what it's like in an 8 to win at this event, and is now trying to lead her crew in a 4. And they have had both senior World Championship experience and under-23 ahead of that. So enormous experience. But the girls and Leander are saying, we're the future of British rowing too, and look at the opportunity we have to take on a full international crew.
And this is where the experience, when you get into that middle part of the race, the games, will start to use their experience, and it's whether the Leander crew can just stay as vibrant and as excited and just racy as they have been, to just trying to keep them under pressure.
So they'll be feeling good. They'll be feeling everything's working so far of the pushes they've done. Lauren Carey at bow, Sophie Houston at 2, Philippa Emery at 3, and Abigail stroking it, Abigail Top, who's already been showing incredible talent, winning at Henley Women's Regatta, under-23 world silver medalist, and, out here to gain more experience.
You just look at the cadence they're at. I don't have a rate watch on me, but they are racy. Like, they are not coming down.
Yeah, it's really keeping it moving, keeping it light, isn't it? And that's the challenge always, to hit the rate that isn't so high you can't recover between the strokes, but it doesn't make it get heavy. And it just feels it's a little more, not laboured, but just sort of a little stodgier in the Canadian crew. And the question to them is, can someone in the crew give a call that will just lighten it up, maybe just speed up the catches, how fast the oar is going in the water, just give a little more life. But they're still close enough to sense Leander, and I suspect they're going to have a push coming up at some point to really try and put pressure on them.
Yeah, and that experience, and we talked about the middle part, the bulk of it is the bulk of the race, is how that experience can really move the Canadian crew back into contention, because the Leander crew is not coming off that high cadence. They are still moving, but they haven't broken contact yet. They're still kind of towing the Canadian boat along with them, which is can sometimes be the worst thing to do at Henley, because then you get swallowed up by them.
Yeah, it's dangerous, isn't it? Of course, you know, you have that advantage. You can see where they are, but that means you can see them start to creep back on you. And I think that's what's happening now. The Canadians, they're digging in, aren't they? They know the length of the course. They know they've got time, and they're going to have some big pushes. Usually this is the part of the course where there's one of those dig in for 20, 30, maybe 40 strokes of power. You know, you need that amount of strokes to make a move, and they're on that at the moment now, aren't they?
And you can, yeah, as you mentioned, the Canadian crew is definitely moving up there, going through those gears, and this is when it goes back to Leander crew. Can they weather the storm that's coming out there?
Yeah, so the momentum swings. We saw incredible momentum at the start with Leander, really feisty. And now the momentum has swung back as they've got more life. You look into the Canadian crew and they get that psychological feeling that what they're doing is working. They're getting something back from it. This feels good. We do more of this. We do more of this. And, you know, again, the pressure now psychologically comes onto the Leander crew who don't know, you know, haven't raced that much together, and, you know, who can find the call that will swing it back to them. But really devastating push from Canada.
But this is the exciting part. If you're coming into the enclosures level, this is when you definitely want that home crowd. You know, that lease of life that can give you, that extra inch. Just, you know, you want to do it from the, you know, the members, you know, your fellow colleagues at your club, and they'll all be screaming in the enclosures as they come into it now.
It brings so much, doesn't it, for those girls wearing the Leander strip, knowing that this is your home territory. You know exactly where you are on the course. That has to count for something, and it is now, again, swinging back to them. Really well worked through that last, you know, weathering the storm and then going, right, let's liven up again. But my goodness, this is a tussle.
This is fist fight, bow ball to bow ball. This is, that's why I love watching racing at Henley. This is what it comes down to. Come the last couple of 100 meters, cruise level, side by side, big final. You know, who's going to be brave enough and dig deep enough?
Questions get asked of you, don't they? It's very much at this point now, you know, how much can you really dig into the quality of the winter training you did? How much psychologically can you stay on your technique whilst being absolutely exhausted and full of lactic acid? You know, this is where you find out, you learn about yourself, and you find that you're capable of more than you maybe realised.
And this is when, because the Leander crew hasn't raced, is it going to stay together when they start going through the gears? Because the Canadians are definitely going to have that as they start to move through with that experience they have.
So we see that shot from behind where there is great power going down in that Canadian crew. We saw the bow Piper Battersby, and we saw the sharpness that's happening in both crews. Now they're going up, they're calling their lifts. They all do 10 strokes at a time, maybe 15. They will be looking to sharpen the catches. Both crews are going. They are putting in every bit of power they have left. This is an incredible race.
This is incredible. Along the enclosures, they're just running out of steam. Looks like the Canadians are just moving in front now. That experience is definitely paying dividends.
Just a little more power over the course, but they have been tested so much. They are all fighting, putting in the last 10 strokes now, finding what's left. Can they lift it again? But it has been an incredible, powerful display, a resilient display from Rowing Canada to win the final of the Town Challenge Cup against a really excellent Leander Club A crew.
That was incredible. To go out and be that brave against that quality, that takes real guts to do something like that. So, unfortunately, they haven't crossed the line first, but you know, what they should take from that is an immense amount of kind of confidence that next time can they get a bit closer to that finish.
Huge learning.